As soon as Nkem saw Mua's hand close to his goods, she raised an alarm. Angry villagers, who had been on edge due to the recent spate of thefts, and had been waiting for a day like this for them to intervene, quickly gathered and gave chase. Mua, in a desperate bid to escape, ran through the narrow alleys of the village and eventually darted into Muna's salon. Gasping for breath, she looked around for a place to hide but found none. Muna, seeing her sister's distress, approached her with concern. "Mua, what's wrong?" Before Mua could respond, the angry mob burst into the salon. Confused by the identical twins standing before them, they demanded to know who is the thief. In the village of Umuonu, a very calm and beautiful village with many successful men, there lived an identical twin sister named Muna and Mua. They were so alike in appearance that even their parents sometimes struggled to tell who is Muna and Mua. However, their characters could not have been more different. Muna was responsible and hardworking, running a successful salon shop where she styled hair and fixed nails. Mua, on the other hand, had chosen a path of dishonesty and theft, tarnishing their family's reputation. Going about the village doing all sorts of dirty things that only bring tears and dishonor to her precious family. Their parents, heartbroken by Mua's actions, repeatedly pleaded with her to change her ways and join Muna at the salon. "Mua, my daughter, come walk with your sister," their mother, Nena, often said. "You can learn a skill, make an honest living, and make us proud." Their parents were tired and ashamed of themselves concerning all the dirty reports from neighbors on how Mua will sneak into their different houses and steal their valuable properties only for her to sell it at a very cheap price to those that patronize and encourage her to steal. In the village meeting, Mua's parents could no longer utter a word or freely interfere on what they think is not suitable for the community. All because of their daughter's bad behavior, and if they eventually try to make a suggestion, the villagers would descend on them, asking them to first of all put their house in order before making a suggestion for the betterment of the community. They would tell them that parents to a thief is not worthy to make a suggestion for the progress of a community because they have failed as a parent in guiding their own family. Mua's parents still wondered how and where she learned this evil attitude, whereas her twin sister is really different and have never taken anything that belongs to someone else. They promised to give her anything she ever wanted, and even go ahead to establish her above her twin sister if only she would stop stealing from people. But Mua refused. She enjoyed the thrill of stealing and the quick money it brought, even though it meant living a life of deceit and constant danger. The villagers were well aware of Mua's misdeeds, and her presence always put them on edge. Mua had only few friends, and they were those that lured her into stealing with their luxury and flamboyant lifestyle in the village of Umuonu. One fateful day, Mua ran out of luck. She attempted to steal from a nearby shop, not realizing that the shopkeeper, Nkem, had already grown tired of her constant theft. As soon as Nkem saw Mua's hand close to his goods, she raised an alarm. Angry villagers, who had been on edge due to the recent spate of thefts, and had been waiting for a day like this for them to intervene in all the pains and loss the evil child had caused their various families, quickly gathered and gave chase. Mua, in a desperate bid to escape, ran through the narrow alleys of the village and eventually darted into Muna's salon. Gasping for breath, she looked around for a place to hide but found none. Muna, seeing her sister's distress, approached her with concern. "Mua, what's wrong?" Before Mua could respond, the angry mob burst into the salon. Confused by the identical twins standing before them, they demanded to know who is the thief. In a moment of sheer panic and desperation, Mua pointed at her sister. "She's the thief. She stole the money." Muna's eyes widened in shock and disbelief. "No, it's not me. Mua is lying. She is the real thief. You are the thief, Mua. No, it's not me, it's you, Muna." The mob, already fueled by anger and confusion, found it difficult to discern the truth. Their rage, like a wildfire, consumed their sense of justice. Unable to decide who was guilty, they descended on both sisters, their fury manifesting in violent blows. "Stop! Please, stop!" Muna cried out, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. Mua, realizing the gravity of what she had done, also tried to protest, but it was too late. The mob, blinded by their need for retribution, continued their brutal assault until both sisters lay lifeless on the ground. In a final act of misguided vengeance, they set the salon ablaze, and equally burning the twins alive. The village fell silent as the flames consumed the salon. It wasn't until the fire had died down that the gravity of their actions dawned on them. The reality that they had killed an innocent girl, Muna, in their blind rage and confusion, hit them hard. Mua's jealousy and greed had not only ended her own life but also brought a tragic end to her innocent sister and immense sorrow to their parents. Nena and their father were inconsolable. They had lost both daughters in one tragic moment, one to her own flaws and the other to the village's failure to seek the truth. The tragic deaths of Muna and Mua left an indelible mark on the village of Umono. As the villagers gathered to mourn and reflect, Elder John addressed them with a heavy heart. "We must learn from this sorrowful event," he began, his voice echoing through the silent crowd. "We must be careful with the kind of friends our children keep and teach our youths the value of patience and fairness." In the weeks that followed, Nena and John, still grieving, became vocal advocates for these lessons, hoping that sharing their story would prevent other families from experiencing similar pain. Nena often spoke about the subtle changes she had noticed in Mua as she grew up and how she had fallen in with a bad crowd. "It starts small," she would say, "with little lies and petty thefts. But these things grow if unchecked. We must be vigilant and guide our children with love and firmness." Elder John spoke to them about the dangers of mob justice and the importance of calm deliberation. "We were too quick to anger," he told them. "Our fury blinded us, and we failed to see the truth. In our haste, we caused the death of an innocent. Let this be a lesson to you all. In moments of anger, take a step back. Think before you act." Kem, the shopkeeper whose alarm had set off the tragic chain of events. He stood before the crowd, visibly shaken, and shared his remorse. "I raised the alarm in anger," he admitted. "I wanted justice, but I didn't think about the consequences. If I had been slower to judge, perhaps Mona would still be alive." The youth listened intently, understanding the gravity of his words. They began to see that their actions, fueled by anger and a desire for swift justice, could have devastating and irreversible consequences. As part of the healing process, the village elders introduced conflict resolution training. They taught the young people how to handle disputes peacefully, emphasizing communication and understanding over anger and retribution. In memory of Muna, a new tradition was established. Every year, on the anniversary of the twins' death, the village held a day of reflection. It was a day dedicated to remembering the importance of fairness, patience, and careful judgment. Stories of Muna's kindness and Mua's downfall were shared, serving as powerful reminders of the values the village now upheld. The village became known for its strong sense of fairness and its careful, measured approach to conflict resolution. Through these changes, Muna's legacy lived on. Her life and untimely death served as a guiding light, helping the village to grow and evolve.